yes, to not beat around the bush, I have for the past few streams I've been trying to figure out a way to bring in some possible T-shirt art, and working on some, and it's kind of tricky because the T-shirt art stuff doesn't really, at least for me, it doesn't really just happen on the fly. It's very, I got to think about it, and it's a very broken up process. The dreaded lurgy. I don't know what that is. So it's kind of hard to condense it all into one, like just sit down and do it. There's usually a lot of like, I'm waiting to figure stuff out. There's a lot of back and forth. If the stream froze, refresh it. It'll hopefully come back up. But yeah, it froze, so you didn't hear that part. And I've been looking for something that we could do on stream that was possibly could be worked into more of just the graphic art, like stuff that you could print on T-shirts or anything really. And then I've been wanting to do, if you guys follow me on other stuff, I do a lot of the artwork for the Syndicate stuff. And I've been trying to figure out something good that I could bring in on stream that we could work on here. So I've been working on a new design that's Syndicate themed. I don't know if it's gonna become anything else just yet. I haven't decided yet, but I wanted to show you guys. So we're gonna vector something pretty kind of wild today. It's something I just was sharing on Twitter over the past couple days, and I've been playing around. I've been hugely influenced by those artists that do like collage stuff, and I used to like dabble in this type of stuff back in the day, but it never really went anywhere. I never really like put a whole lot of effort into it. It's mainly like sketching stuff, sketchbooks where you just kind of like things are overlapping and you're making a collage of just sketches or whatnot. But sitting down and doing like a full-blown like collage piece. So we're gonna do the big S tonight, or at least we're gonna vector it up, because the pencil drawing part, I'm super rusty at this stuff, and it took me forever. I spent most of last night trying to get this thing going, and I want to show you. So this is the final pencil render that I went out and I found my flatbed scanner, and we scanned it, and we're gonna vector this. So we got a pretty lengthy date with the pen tool in Illustrator tonight, and there's a reason why I'm gonna go through and vectorize this, because you'll notice it's currently 8.5 by 11, and it's only on like like printer paper, which is not very great. So I want to vector it to get it clean, and then we can scale it to any size we want to. So this is kind of like that collage style, right, that I was talking about. So it's kind of like you take a bunch of random bits and bobs and pieces and stuff, and you form it into something. This one I wanted to form into the S for Syndicate, and there is kind of a rhyme or reason to it. I asked you guys on Twitter what some Tom sayings were. It might have a little bit of color trickster, but it just be like, since we're gonna vector it up for screen printing, I'm thinking it'd probably be on either a white or black shirt, and then you would have the 3 ink colors would just be black ink, white ink, or maybe a gold or a blue. So just a 3-color design is what we're gonna go for when we're done here. Also, I don't know if I doubt we're gonna get this done at all. This is a lot of clicking with the pen tool, and just to show you guys kind of the process. So if you guys have never have you guys played with those of you that like to draw, do you guys ever play at the light box? Do you know what that is? So the process to this was I printed out an S that I liked, okay, right, and then you use a light box, which is one of these turkeys. And I think is it still plugged in? No, it's not plugged in. So if you don't have one of these and you want to try this out, these are lots of fun. These are like $20-$30. It's just a panel with a light behind it, so you can just put your paper on it, draw on it, like like, I don't know if you did this in the old days, but you put it up against a window, and draw. Use that as almost a light box. So a light box, print out a letter you like, okay? I chose, an S. And then start stacking them up. And so, right, see if I can do this. So stack them up, right? So now we have our sketch, okay? And you can see there's some different stuff in there. You can see I changed some things. And then you go over that with your other sketch, right? So the light box comes in handy because you can do this kind of layered process and get to something that is final. So that's why these things take so long, because there's like, you know, there's all these layers to it. And I had to stop. You can even if you need help on stuff, so you can like, you need help on text. I couldn't get legend right. I'm terrible at G's. So I did this in Illustrator real quick and printed it out, and then used this on the light box and just got my shapes over it. And so I was able to, you know, make it a much cleaner at the bottom there, right? So you can do stuff like that. There's some really good tutorials on that in general about hand lettering and using existing fonts and stuff to do this stuff. So we're going to vector this part. And actually, I had to take a picture of my sunglasses to get the right angle as well, because I can't draw sunglasses either. So this was a struggle. And that empty circle up there is going to be where the logo goes. So I just left it because I already have that vectored. So we're just going to use that there. So did that sound all muddy and rough and like lame? Because you like the rough version. Yeah. So let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat real quick. Full drafting table and storage, that is a light table. That's awesome, eShirts Lab. There's I'm always jealous of like tattoo artists that have those type of desks that's just one gigantic light box, which is too cool. Yeah, I made the logo. I did a long while ago. Okay, so let's get the scene changed so you guys can see the old Illustrator. I think it's this one. Am I right? Okay. So, will it have color? Yes, it will have 3 colors. Strip light and boom, you have one. Strip light, I'm not sure. All right, so we're gonna vector this guy, and as we're going, I'll kind of show you some Illustrator tricks, at least with the pen tool. So I just have a new document open, and I'm gonna drag out the S onto here, and we're going to simply center this up and get to town. So we want to keep in mind as we're doing this thing that it's gonna be, we're trying to make a design that can work on a light and dark background, which is, it can be tough sometimes. So we're gonna keep that in mind as we chug along. And this seems too small. Let me make sure my file's right. 2.8 meg. I might need to scan it again. Details. No, it's, where'd it go? No, the preview's too small. Let me open this up in Photoshop, make sure it's the right dimensions. I had to blow all the dust off the scanner, so I may have scanned it wrong earlier. But yeah, so there is a rhyme and reason to this. The top part is more about like Tom's vlogging stuff. So the top part of the S is themed to be like vlog type stuff. So there's like his cell phone, earbuds, words he likes. There's a laptop up there. Let me bring it back up so you guys can see it. There's a laptop. There's and I had to Google this. There's a UK power cord over here. So we have original, we have NAR in here. Did some checkerboard stuff. There's his phone. We did the 1337, a speaker. This is where the logo is going to go. Then kind of the halfway point is more of the lifestyle type stuff. The shark was just kind of thrown in there. We did a shark drawing a long while back, and it kind of always stuck. So I threw the shark back there. Adios and dude, or another couple words he says. The sunglasses, Tom's always got his Oakleys on. We got stars and knickknacks and things and water in here. There's the YouTube play button. We have a crown. We have an eyeball watching the play button. And then the bottom is more of the gaming stuff. So the first time I ever came across Tom, he was, of course, shooting zombies in Call of Duty. So I had to have the zombie theme on the left. And then another word that he uses is a legend, and that goes with the gaming theme as well. And so then there's just a lot of little filigree detail just to kind of give the whole thing a little bit of weight to it. So we open Photoshop. Let me double check that this is the file is right. Yep, image size in inches. Yeah, 6:9. So why does it look so small on Illustrator? Maybe it's just my eyeballs. Let's open. I have this thing set in pixels. Let me look at. So Control R, when you're in Illustrator, in Photoshop, Control R is one of your best friends. It simply brings up rulers. And I can't have a document open anymore without seeing rulers. So if you right click, you can also set the dimensions on it. So if I go to inches, I guess that is right. Yeah, maybe my canvas is just bigger than I thought it was. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in here and, oh, there we go. It was just the render. Okay, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that on the stream, but at the canvas, I'm looking at 150%. But it looks like it's being like when you take a JPEG and blow it up, you know, further than it's supposed to go, but it's like going different. So that's what threw me off. Okay, so if we zoom in here, it's still clean. All right, so when you want to vector stuff like this, and this is going to be a while, I'm looking at it thinking, ooh, we're in store for some work. One thing I like to do is put this on its own layer, and then we're going to lock that layer. And then if you double click the layer in Illustrator, you can go to dim images. And this comes in handy when you're working like on layers above it. So we're gonna dim images, and I'm gonna dim it down to like, let's try 35 for now. And there, you see the whole thing gets kind of knocked back. And you can tell it's cool when you zoom into pencil type drawings and whatnot and see just how like rough it is. And the pencil I was using isn't awesome, but it's just a simple mechanical pencil. These things, I don't know, I'm addicted to mechanical pencils. Ever since I got one when I was little, that's all I ever used. And this is just a simple, I guess it's a zebra mechanical pencil. But the lead in them is usually kind of soft. You know, if you press hard, of course it breaks and goes flying across the room somewhere. So it's not the best thing to use, but for this, it worked for what we need it to do. So yeah, all right, so before we get going too much, another thing I got to tell you guys is if I love seeing your guys' work. You know that, right? So the best way to send over any work that you want me to check out on stream or after the stream, whenever you want, send it to me on Twitter. Twitter is the best way to get at me, and I'm going to give it a sec to catch up before I go ahead and post a Twitter link. So it's just simply twitter.com/thisguy. Okay. So send me any work you want me to look at. I love pulling up portfolios and checking stuff out just as we chug along. So what's up, Blaze? Good to see you, bud. Lightbox technique with a ... What do you mean, E-shirts? You making fun of me? Yes, Neil, I'm finally over my cold. It only stuck around for 3 weeks. It was terrible. It stuck around for 3 weeks, and then I had to go out of town. And so it was like I was done, dude. I was totally done for. So the pen tool, we're going to zoom in nice and close and get going. You know, as I'm looking at this, though, a lot of these basic shapes, I'm just going to draw out random circles and just have, you know, some of those will be easy. The 1337 is kind of wonky, so we'll try to clean that up and maybe have it look a little smoother. Or actually, hopefully a lot smoother. Let's see what else we're gonna do here. There's a lot of cables here. That'll just be pinned out. This checkerboard back here, I was thinking I'd make that white and gold. So a lot of these we're gonna do as separate pieces. I think I will go ahead and like, if you think about it kind of modular, like in a modular style or approach, you can have some of this stuff to save it later. So I'm not gonna sit here and have all of the pencil like one giant shape. I think I'm gonna isolate some of these pieces. So I'll do the foam by itself. I'll do I might do, you know, the words by themselves to pull them out. Maybe we can use them elsewhere. The shark can be standalone. These speech bubbles, I can grab one of those and be standalone. The YouTube button, this eyeball, the zombie head, and the legend text. So that stuff will all probably be you know, standalone shapes that we can then use somewhere else, which will be pretty cool. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm getting really like worried. Do a checkerboard and warp filter. I could, yeah. I wonder. So there's going to be a fine balance here where I want Illustrator to clean it up. You know, I want to use it to have it be clean, but I also don't want to lose that human vibe behind it. Oh, black and gold. So random streaming, that's a good idea. So black and gold will be cool, but if we're printing this shirt, or if we're printing this graphic on a black shirt, some of that stuff, and that's another reason to keep things kind of modular, is because we might have to go back and do a different colorway for the overall piece if it gets printed on a, you know, a darker background as opposed to a lighter background. So we'll get motoring on this. Jeffrey, that did cross my mind, the blob brush, but I think the blob brush might simplify it even more, which I'm afraid I'll lose that you know, that kind of, what do you want to call it, more you know, hand rendered approach. Lots of layers. Yep. You need the line will be on there, so the line's going to be in the little blank circle. And we'll add the lion in. He's going to go right there. So it's going to have the you know, the circle logo with the lion in the middle. So I'm going to start on this NAR text. This is actually one of the parts I started on in the first place, just on the whole piece, and we're going to start pen tooling this out. I'm going to keep everything as outlines for now, or not this outline, but the where it's every shape we draw is outlined by the pen tool. It has a stroke to it, I should say. So we're going to be doing this for a while. I'm going to press Control U to turn off Smart Guides for now, because it's probably just going to, that might actually, is that on? Okay, now they're off. So if you're ever pen tooling something out like this and you just need it to be, you know, free flowing, and you can see already that it's going to take a while. So get comfortable. We'll break it up a little bit here and there though, and do something else if it gets too monotonous. But yeah, so Smart Guides is really awesome until you're trying to do something more like this, where it's very much free flow and just you're trying to get, well, like I was saying, a more human touch to it. So, because then it'll start like snapping to things that you necessarily don't want it to snap to, and it'd be cool to make a font out of this. I mean, I have to redraw the whole thing to make a font, but I would love a font like this. I feel like NAR is one of those words, you know, where it's like you can have a font like this. So I gotta thank all you guys that sent me ideas for words. There was some really good stuff in there, and I'm very proud of you guys for keeping it safe for work. That always helps. So then, you know, once we have our shape here, you know, we'll start filling it in and seeing what it looks like as we chug along, and then we can just fine tune and adjust as we go, which will be pretty cool. So I feel like some of these letters are going to have a break in them that isn't in the pencil drawing for now, just to show hopefully show kind of the creases of this like banner or bandage that it's on. It almost looks like a big bandage. Oh, and music is always provided by the Pretzel Player. If you don't have it, go to pretzel.rocks and get it. They keep adding more and more music on there. Every day there's new stuff on there. This is one of those pieces where you know, if you try to do something like this, it's a great one to just sit back, throw on some headphones or something, and just motor. But we're gonna have some fun here. And this is kind of the, if you're looking at it going like, oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. It doesn't take forever, but it does take a while. This is kind of the sides that you don't see it all that often in the art world. But we'll try to do some tricks and stuff here. So I'm just moving with the pen tool and just looking kind of as I go where these lines are going. And if you click and drag That's how I'm getting these Bezier shapes, where you see those handles pop up and it gives it a nice smooth curve. So here, I think I'm going to join this differently. So I'll show you guys kind of a trick here. I'm not going to draw in the crossbar to the A. We're going to do something a little bit different. There's one of those little details that you can use in your own work and save some time and also make things a little bit cleaner. So let's get this A finished and I'll show you that. We might actually, I don't know if I'll use it on the R. And then when you close your path, make sure sometimes you have to hold Alt. Are you using a keyboard modifier to shape the pen? No, it's just a basic old pen tool. And just dragging out points. So have you designed every Syndicate t-shirt? I have. We get some special guests to do posters, which I love. If you guys have checked out some of the event posters, you should. There's some good stuff on there. So for this crossbar, right, let's use the shape builder. So I'm going to select both these shapes that I just drew out and press Shift M to bring up the shape builder tool. Then I can hold Shift and I can just start connecting these up. All right. So we have a cross beam here. And say we want it to kind of mold into the ends a little bit more. If I just select these points, you'll see these little circles wind up. And I love these things. These are called live corners. So you'll get live corners to pop up, and it's usually up here in the top toolbar. There's a corner radius, and you can just kind of play with that and bump it up. And I'm actually going to do a half a pixel. It's vector, so you can do very strange increments. So Sam Jones, yep. Sorry, that's the name I was trying to remember. Why can't I remember Sam? My memory's gotten so bad. Yeah, Sam did the sea turtle one, which was just great. It was so well done. He also did the Christmas cards. If you got a Christmas card, a Christmas postcard, he did that one. What was it? It was Tom riding was it Tom on a unicorn? Turned out really good. So yeah, so another thing I'm looking for while I'm doing this stuff is you can kind of see in some places there's like you can see the pencil blur, you know, where like I dragged my hand over it or something or just smudged it. So this is gonna help clean that up as well. And we'll just go right back into the R and come back out. And we will fix that with Pathfinder. Pathfinder is just another like toolbar palette that before Shape Builder was there, that's what we had was Pathfinder. Let's see, let's do this. And there's still instances where Pathfinder, you'd want to use Pathfinder over Shape Builder and vice versa. All right, so we got this together. So if I go up here to Pathfinder, and it's this little icon up here, you can also go to Windows and then Pathfinder. I guess the shortcut is Shift Control F9. I always keep it open though, so I never have to hit the shortcut. So this top left one is Unite. If I click that, you'll see it just got rid of that overlap we have on the R. He did have Steve. That's who. And there was a lot of suggestions that, excuse me, that I just couldn't fit in here. That's another reason why I'm not sure if this is going to be the final, or if you know, we keep this one as is. Because somebody mentioned there was a fish that I should add. I should add Steve. I've tried to draw a bearded dragon before. I failed miserably, but maybe it's time to try it again. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff that maybe if we're doing more letters, I could fit them all. But for the time being, I got what I could in there, and two things had to come into play to get that to work. It was what could fit and what I could draw, because there's a lot of stuff I wish I could draw and I just can't. And it's frustrating when I see all these other awesome artists that can do it, and I'm like, man, why can't I draw that? It never comes out right. Try to draw a squirrel and it looks like a sloth. So, and then we can always go back and add on to lines if we need to. So I'm going to scoot this one all the way down here. We'll get this bandage done, and then you can we'll look at like a before and after and see just how it's looking, how clear it's looking. Probably another process you could do on this instead is actually go back and use actual pen and ink and do it that way. That'll get you a cleaner version as well. But again, you could probably use, if it's super clean, you could use the live trace tool. Okay, so for this one, let's see if we can fudge a little bit, and we're going to offset path. So object, path. Let's try offset path and see if we can get something that'll work here. So pixel dimensions, let's do 4. 4 is kind of thick. Let's do 3. 3 actually works. It's working. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll make these both filled shapes, and then press Shift M for shape builder, and then just hold Alt and click inside the shape you don't want, and there we go. We have this bandage, the Nar bandage. And then let's fill him in. I feel like we should, so you can already tell it's going to be so much cleaner. We'll be able to scale it any size we want. Very cool. All right, so let's add in, like, let's kind of fake where we think some of these folds might be. So if a fold came up this way, let's say it just kind of broke the A, the top of the A this way. We're gonna take a chunk out of it. And then the R, let's do this way. These are all these little details that I can't do with the pencil. The pencil just won't, it's just not fine enough to do it. And maybe the top of the end this way. All right. So Shift M, open shape builder, and then holding Alt is how you delete shapes. So it's just like, let's see, what else is like that? Like when you use a select tool, like in Photoshop or something, you know how Shift is add and Alt is subtract. Same way with the shape builder tool. There we go. Now we just gave it a little more life, and it looks pretty cool. Okay, that's weird. The stream player was up, like it said I was still streaming. I guess maybe Twitch took a dive, or it could be my PC. That's my PC specs for you. Broke. Oh man. Hopefully it does. It hangs on and doesn't do that again. But ooh, Richard, this is cool. Richard's got some stuff going on. Screaming face. Is this Vader? Looks like Darth Vader. That's I don't know what that is, but that's cool. Is that a man suit with hinges? Those are nice, man. Good job, Richard. You should have audio. Let's see. Oh, Sean, yeah, the Spartan thing. I remember you showing me the logo to this. This is a good example of a logo. At first, like it's such an interesting shape to be a Spartan helmet, but I saw it right away. Like you couldn't like, oh yeah, that is a Spartan helmet. Like it was, but how you pulled it off is pretty impressive. I got a big kick out of this, and the collateral. I love the mud. Nice work, dude. Very good. Cool. All right, so checking on this the old Twitter stuff. Yeah, I see a lot of posts that need Steve. It does need Steve. Maybe the next one will have Steve. Maybe we'll do an O next time and have Steve. Yeah, hopefully it's coming back up. What's up, Shank? Swan Meat's got audio. I don't know if let me fire Swan Meat. Can you ping me if you see it happen again? I don't know what it is. I'm hoping internet is not to blame today, or rather, it is to blame, because then that's fixable. All right, we'll keep this going. So I keep going. I'm streaming until 7 p.m. tonight, which is another, what is that, 2.5 hours? All right, so let's do this laptop. It's kind of hidden back here. And there we go. And this is how you can kind of, let me make sure I'm not dropping frames again. All right, so this is how we're gonna kind of like build this stuff quicker. I can go ahead and offset path again on these simpler shapes. So object, path, offset path. Let's preview to make sure it's what we want. 3, let's drop this one down to a 2, hit OK. And then shape builder again, Shift M and hold Alt, and this should now just be one filled shape. There we go. And it looks like this, there might be a weird overlap here. All right. So I can do that. Also, since I'm keeping in mind what my widths are. I can just go ahead and set a stroke width too. So a 2 here. This looks kind of funky. See another anchor going there. Smooth it out a bit. Man, I haven't done one of these drawings in so long. My hand cramped up like, it was miserable drawing this thing. So this one we can also, I'm on the wrong tool. We don't want, that's a simplified tool. We want pen tool. And I might have to go let the dog out real quick. I heard him bark. So again, see here, we just drew out like a hard edge, but we can go ahead and fix that with live corners. And go like this. There we go. So then, this one, we'll bring the stroke down to a 1. And let's live corner this area. Just a hair. And actually, I'm gonna leave those lines for now. This might be, I was thinking the computer screens would be maybe white and gold or white and blue. I haven't decided if we want to do white and gold or white and blue. All right, so that's getting there. Mash the lion and Steve together. That'd be pretty cool. Give Steve a big old mane. Maybe Photoshop a real beard on him. He needs a beard. It's a bearded dragon. He needs a beard. What's with the fish? So I don't know the story about the fish. Somebody mentioned that there's a Nemo type fish or something, a clownfish, but I don't know what that's from. Does anybody know what that's from? I'm assuming he means like Nemo, you know. But I don't know the story behind it. Oh, that one didn't work so hot. I figured these are kind of like cables wrapping the S, and that one looks kind of janky as well. Let's cut this shorter. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this stuff, and I'm going to go to Object, Path. Oh, I missed one. Grab this one. Object, Path, Outline Stroke, and I think it's safe to merge these together, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we're getting closer on, we got this laptop going. Let's do where the keyboard jets out. So, anybody in the stream, has anybody tried these type of drawings where it's just like a mishmash of stuff and just like super mashup? Be super interested to see what you guys came up with. I love checking this stuff out. Okay, maybe like one more line that way. Make sure everything's still green over there. Yep. Oh, I don't want that. I want to smooth it just a hair. All right, so now we have a situation though where we need to make sure. So if I press Control Y, go to outlines, I can get a better shot of where those ends are lining up to get a cleaner turn there. All right, something from Mionite, the clownfish. Did Sam put it on the turtle poster? Chris Katera, I do have a lot of tutorials on there. I need to do more. We had there was a real fun series called I don't even remember what it's called anymore. It was called my brain is so bad. Abstracts. Man. Where we essentially just make a lot of cool stuff with Photoshop filters. If you find that stuff exciting or informational, there's a lot of those tutorials. Those are probably the most recent ones I had done, and they're probably very much outdated at now. You know what I mean. Yeah, there's some tutorials on there. All right, let's try something here. So instead of drawing out all these little like keys, we're just gonna do a grid, okay? But we can do a blend to try to make this a little bit smoother. So if we grab these two, Object, Blend. Let's do blend options. We want to do specified steps, and we have 1, 2, 3, maybe. So let's just do 2 steps for now, okay? And then Object. Oh, actually, I gotta go back into Blend. I triggered something on blend options. We want orientation's right. Okay, I was working with Align to a Path recently, and I thought maybe it might have saved it. So we still want 2 steps. Object, Blend, Make, and it's gonna draw those other 2 lines in. So I think we do need another step. So let's go back to Object, Blend, blend options. This time click Preview because we've already applied it so we can see it. And if I just click 3 and Tab, there we go. There's our 3 lines there. And then we can do the same thing the other direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and expand these. Object, Blend, Expand. All right, so now we just have a bunch of lines. And then let's go ahead and do it the other direction. So these are pretty big fat keys. We are not super concerned over whether they look real or not. Okay, so then we can do the same method this way. Object, blend make, object blend, blend options. Let's click on preview. This direction we probably need more. 8. Yeah, 8's about right. And then we're gonna vary it up a little bit. Okay, so if you turn your head, sometimes it works better. Okay, so object blend, expand, and I kind of wanted to where there'd be like a, thinking just kind of to mimic like a shift key. So like maybe right here. I'm gonna add some points. And I can select that. So now we kind of break one up. And then the space bar would be down here. You're not gonna see this anyways though, but maybe something like that. Okay, so if we zoom out of here, object, path, outline stroke, let's unite it, okay? And then we should be able to shape build it. So we want to cut it off. You know, we don't want this overlap. So let's see if we can shape build it. Shift M, and let's just get rid of this section there. It's like magic. This section there. This section there. All right, so now we should have gotten rid of the overlap. Oh, there's one little piece right there. Let's zoom in so we can see, make sure we got the strays. That one came across. Got rid of the overlaps. Okay, let's zoom out. Those are some real thick function keys, but we don't care. So let's select these and just hit unite. Oops, we did it. There's a, we have to outline this stroke, object, path. Oh wait, I wanted to corner this just a tad. Let's do half a pixel, 0.5. All right, everything's still green over there. Object, path, outline stroke, select it all, unite. All right, so we can zoom out, we can see, you know, the rough and our smoothing. So it's gonna look, oh, it's gonna look so much smoother and cleaner. It'll be so nice once it's all done. Oh man, what's up, Legacy? Haven't seen you in a bit. Theater Geek. What's up, Jeffrey? All right, Jeff, have fun. Off to the boardwalk. That sounds like fun. Oh man, Legacy. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Hurry, save. Good point. Notice it still says Untitled. Good call on that. Yeah, very good call. That's like, I already have a folder called the Big S. Where are you? The Big S. And this one will be the Big S. All right. Yes. Save it out. It's a quarter to 2 a.m. here. Whoa, Legacy! I didn't realize you were in a time zone that far away. What drink is that? This is a. So I'm addicted to these things. It's one of those kombucha things. So it's like, I guess, supposed to be good for you. One of these guys, but they make some that taste like sodas. So this one tastes just like a Dr. Pepper, and there's like nothing in it. There's 5 grams of sugar and that's it. There's nothing else in it. So it's the only way I can get like soda and not, you know, not have to drink all the corn stuff. Oh, it's 12:45, Scott. Holy cow! Oh, Netherlands. Okay, yeah, you're in the future. Both you guys are in the future. Tell me, how's the 17th so far? I don't know what this bit is here. We're just gonna fill it in because why not? So we're just gonna make a shape. I'm noticing a lot. You gotta have a good balance of just you know, ink and back and negative space. So I'm trying to, some of these spots are just, you know, they're just full of ink just to kind of balance it out a little more. All right. I don't know what those are. Maybe those are more cables or shoelaces or, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we have We're gonna use, let's see if we can do this little Thunderbolt guy. And I can already see we're gonna have some issues with it because when we go to offset path, I think it's gonna jet out pretty far. Let's try it though, and we need to give it some depth. So object, path, offset path, maybe we just do, let's do 2. Let's change the miter limit. So the miter limit is, see how it just kind of beveled them off. If we start to slowly bump this up, you'll see them come back. So 6 is good, okay. So how do we want to do this? I want to make a copy because I want it to have some depth. So object, arrange, send it back. Let me zoom out and make sure our overall sizing is okay. Alright, so let's do this. Let's simply mimic some basic 3D. And we're going to join these up just to make it look like it's got some depth. So I'm just clicking on the points and filling it. And this one's kind of hard to see. But, all right. Okay, so this is a good track. All right, so let's unite that. Let's send this to back. Object arrange, send to back. Select them both, shape tool, hold Alt. You know what? Maybe I'm going to keep this shape because we didn't mean to do that. And then I have a Pantone color I like, so I'm gonna go to swatches. If you're looking for, like, do I have my Pantone books out here? No, I must have put them away. So if you're gonna do like screen printing, you want to look for inks that you know are gonna print the color you see for the most part. If I had my color books, I could show you. Where are they? What did I do with them? I want to show you. Oh, here they are. So when you do screen printing, actually when you do any type of printing where you have to match colors, you have these color books. These guys, and they're by Pantone. If you've ever played with one. So there's a color in here I always use for the Syndicate stuff. This is the formula guide. So it's all these colors, and these colors are, printers can match these 100%. So that's how they're so important. You just tell them, I want, whatever this color is, PMS 832 or whatever, and they'll be like, all right, we can match that, So otherwise, they're going to use the CMYK method, and then it might get close. It'll get pretty close these days, but if you want to be spot on, and it's important when you're doing stuff like your what's a good example? Okay, so when you're doing things for like clothing, like brands in general, or clothing or brands and whatnot, they usually have like a color that they always use, right? So, and they want to match that color. One that pops to mind is, if you guys have heard of the brand called Diamond. There's a pretty popular, at least here on the west coast of the U.S., there's a brand called Diamond. And I think they started out making skateboard parts, actually, and then they turned into a clothing business. But they have like their own kind of sea green teal color. But you'll notice that it's the same, whether or not they use that color on a t-shirt, on a hoodie, on pants, wherever that color gets used, Diamond Supply Co., you'll notice it's the same green, right? It's the same blue-green. It doesn't change. And I think it's blue-green. So that's a Pantone color. And they match that every single time. And that's what gives the whole brand consistency, right? So what we're doing here is... there's a gold I like to use, and I think I'm going to just use this as the placeholder. And the cool thing about Illustrator is it has these color books built in. So I can look through here and find, where is it? 618. Where's 618? Show you guys 618. Okay, so it's this one. I don't know if you guys can see it. 618. It's one of my favorite ones. There's 617 and 618, both these ones, right? So this is one I always, whenever I think, okay, we got to do something in gold, I always pull 618. And it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a good habit to get into when you're doing this type of stuff. So now that I have my swatches open, so Windows, swatches, you have the little hamburger menu all the way to the right. Let me make sure you can see that. If you click that, and you have Open Swatch Library. Can you guys see that? Is that coming up? Okay. So under Open Swatch Library, you have color books. And the one that you want to pick for this type of stuff is Pantone Solid Coated. Bam. You can get the library, the phone book of Pantones, right? And this is where having the color book comes in handy, because you can real quickly just go up to the search and I can type in 618, and there it is. Boom, 618. So now I know when this gets printed, it's going to match whatever else I have 618 on, right? So all those other gold shirts that you guys might have picked up or like, or some of you might have seen, those all use a version, 618. Sometimes they have metallic flake in them, but for the most part, it's that color that gets used. So getting into that habit, and now it's already added this swatch here too, so I can go ahead and grab it. And you'll notice the Pantone swatches look like the global swatches. They have this white outline to them, and that's how you, or the little white corner, and that's how you know that it's a global swatch. And global, and meaning that it's, this one's a book color. Sometimes you'll see where it's given its own like name. So yeah, so it's a good habit. What'd you get for free? Where can you pick these bad boys up from? So Scott, if you're talking about color books, okay. So here's the only here's the only drawback to them. They're kind of expensive. Pantone's been doing this for years. They have a corner on the market. This color book set, I want to say, was like almost $80, which is, yeah, it's kind of expensive. But any printer or anybody that works in this type of stuff, these are worth their weight in gold, and they are quite heavy. So, yeah. And this other one is, this one I think has the CMYK value. So if you look, no, it's not CMYK. So this one has the mixtures. So if you guys see this, I don't know if you can see, in the small print, there's the formula next to it. So this is for people that can actually, if they don't have a can of this sitting around, they know exactly, how much pigment of each color goes into it. This one comes in handy because, if you can see under the name, it has CMYK, RGB, and the hex code that matches this. So if you if you're working on something that is very brand specific, for a client or something, they say, well, we use Pantone 2016, which is this really weird orange color. And say, okay, say you're making like, social banners for them, or you're making a website for them, something for the screen. It's be like, you can go and say, 2016, the HTML is, the hex value is FFB673, and you can match it, right? So you can match it on screen. See, it's very, very heavy. So yeah, so they do come in handy, but they are, yes, like I said, they are kind of expensive. All right, let's draw in. Let's finish this corner. See, we've been going an hour and we don't even have a corner done. Isn't that sad? Let's go ahead and get an idea for this screen though, since we at least picked out a quick swatch. And I'm going to be putting all of the color. You know what? After I draw this shape out, I'm going to go ahead and put it on its own layer for the time being. I want to keep this type of stuff isolated. So if you want to paste it right in place on a new layer, press Control X to cut. Let's make our new layer and press Control F. and it'll put it right back in place, but it'll put on the new layer, which comes in handy. So let's just kind of keep these off on their own. That way, you know, this, let's make a copy of this. Control C, Control F. Or no, did that wrong. Let's shape build this. All right. Take a copy of this, Control C, put it on the background layer, Control F. And we'll do it this way for now, just so we have everything is a little more organized. All right. In the end, we'll probably merge it all together once we find our colorway, but for the time being, we want to make sure that everything has its proper home. Okay, so back to inking. In this one, I think I'm going to use live corners again. Live corners comes in handy so much for these type of drawings. So I can quickly grab all these corners and we can smooth them out. All right, and this, I'm always having to try to remember what my weights are too. So I want the stroke weight, you know, to match other stuff. So just making sure that's in there. I'm gonna check Twitter here in a second, see what if we've missed anything. I'm pressing Control Y to go back into outline so I can see where these things need to line up. That. All right, and then we can also live corner that one. Maybe we'll do something like that. And we're just making our shapes. There we go. So I don't understand. The UK power plugs. They're pretty bulky, aren't they? Let's see. So this, I'm gonna go ahead and outline these. Object, path, outline, stroke. See, do I want to do that already? Yeah, I can do that. So this one I had kind of like a bit of a shadow. So get that back in there. Shift M, hold Shift. Let's round this corner out. There we go, it's starting to look like a power plug. I went to England once in 90. What year was that? 97? 97? Yeah. And I went with a friend, and she plugged a hairdryer in a hotel over there. Oh, you know, American hairdryer, and she had the adapter, but she didn't have the transformer. And all the lights started flickering in the building. No, it wasn't a hairdryer; it was a curling iron. And I saw this after the fact. Blew out all the power at one of the floors. Then I saw later, I saw the hairdryer, or not the hairdryer, the curling iron, and it had kind of like a banana shape. The whole curling iron had completely just melted. Big piece of steel, just the charge that went through it just killed it. Too funny. You're like, oh yeah, the transformer part. That's, yeah. The stuff that makes the energy, you know, the electricity turn into the right stuff. Those are fun times. That's when the UK kicked me out of Stonehenge, but that's another story for another time. I guess you're not supposed to touch Stonehenge. Long story short, yeah, that didn't go over well. All right, so let's do shape builder on here too. Can we, or can I just get rid of? Maybe we just get rid of this because we got to fix our. This looks weird now that I got it in this. Maybe I make these shorter. Maybe shorter helps and not have to worry about the overlap at all. More like that. That'll work. So yeah. So moral of the story is don't touch Stonehenge. Yeah. But yeah, so these power outlets or plugs are interesting. Object path, outline stroke. That'll work. All right, so we have our power plug. Oh yeah. Do you Chris Katera, do you have the big one? The one that I got one from an old creative director, or I got an old one from a creative director. It's all coming out weird because they're both old. Where it had the 3 different books and it was in the big leather bound thing. And they used to send you, didn't they used to send you like color chips? Like if you requested them, they'd send you color chips on their own or something. They say you're supposed to replace them every decade, but I never did. I don't know. I don't know if that's like, you know, legit. Like if you really need to replace them, or it's just kind of like you know, kind of like subscription services. You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna kind of make a couple cracks here. I'm gonna add points. So now when I add points on this main line, I can just break them like that, and then we can do the average. So Control Alt J to average, and then Control J to join. So we're not having to. We're making this line one bigger piece now, right? We took a notch out of it for now. Let's see, is the stream still holding up? So this one, I don't want it that thick. I want it 2, and then we'll do the cracks at. Excuse me, as I drool over myself. That's the only drawback with that beverage, though, is that yeah. So I'm looking at this and I'm wondering if I need to vary the width up. Let's see what this looks like real quick. So we can use the width tool. And just so I can see if this is something we even want to do, I'm going to double click on one of these anchors and I'm going to bring the width of that part up and see if we want. I'm wondering if, because we're keeping a consistent stroke width, I wonder if we're losing kind of the human part of it. So let's try this, varying it up, and then let's zoom out and see if it's something we want to keep. Thinking we might want to keep that, because that helps kind of, even though we're trying to keep an overall consistent line width, we still want a little bit of variety in there, right? Like, when I'm pushing down on the pencil or pulling up on it, there's gonna be some varying stroke weight on the pencil here. So I'm thinking, what's up, Crypto? Swan meat, yes. I'm assuming you're talking about writing the color books off for taxes. Yes, they're very much. If I didn't do this stuff, I would not need them. So, yep, Robbie, I do put these up on YouTube as well. The last one we did is up on YouTube. The Illustrator text effects one. That one was a blast. If you guys saw it, I had a lot of fun playing with halftones on that one. But also, all the Adobe stuff is here on Twitch too. So, Scott, are those all color books you have? Yeah, cracked add texture. Wait, so is it the I'm going back to Lewis's comment. Are the plugs are designed this way so you don't electrocute themselves? So people can't electrocute themselves? Is that what you mean? Because it's a good point, In the US we don't care, I guess. It's easy to take a paper clip and bend it into two and stick it in a light socket or an outlet. But you can't really bend a paper clip into like a weird looking trident and zap yourself on one of those. So yeah, I can see. Oh man. It's got me thinking. I had an electronics class in high school, and we played with like resistors and the stuff that are in all those drawers at like Radio Shack. We had to make a couple things, but I had a buddy that the way the classroom was set up, we had these tables. Or not tables, basically, they're like bars up against the window, and so you sat in a stool and you just kind of you had like this workspace area up against the like right underneath the windows, and underneath the windows were power plugs all the way down the wall, and I had my back turned to the like the workbench is behind me, and I had my back turned to it, and I was leaning against it, and I was reading, what our assignment was. And across the room, I just saw my shadow flickering all over the wall, and I thought, it's really weird, like, because the lights were on, and I couldn't figure out. It just was like, I had to pause for a sec, thinking, why is my shadow up against that wall? Because there's lights everywhere. The shadow wasn't there a second ago, and I turn around and look, and I see my buddy. Frantically, he stuck a 10 ohm resistor, which is like, if you've seen the little, like, it looks like a little piece of wood with two wires coming out of it. He bent one and stuck one in a wall outlet, and it looked like someone was arc welding in the middle of class. There were sparks flying everywhere. It looked like a sunspot was happening right behind me, and it was casting my shadow on the other wall. And he ended up like, his fingers were all burnt, and there was a big like black burn stripe up the wall, and the the electronics teacher comes over, and he's trying so hard not to laugh. I've just, you know, you get those teachers that are just like, they know you screwed up, and they're just, it was just straight up comical, and he couldn't say it because he was just trying not to laugh at my buddy. And he finally got it out. He's like, yeah, you're not supposed to do that, and he was explaining to him, you know, you obviously have found out the hard way why you're not supposed to do that, but essentially what you did was you took, I don't know, 120 volts or whatever it was in a resistor, changes the current of the electricity, and he's trying to take, essentially he was trying to, you know, if you know, it's like one of those clown cars, right? It's like, or not that, it's like, you know, he was trying to shove, you know, the amount of current he was trying to put through that resistor and try to transform it into, like, I don't know, it was basically nothing, like less than like a battery charge, and it ignited the whole thing, and it cracked me up. And so now whenever I look at power plugs and stuff, that comes right to mind. What happened to that teacher? He was a good teacher. All right, I got all sidetracked on power plugs. So we're doing the same process that we did for the other bandage thing. And this one we're gonna have to kind of wing it a little bit. You guys get me rambling. Okay, so do this again. Object path, offset path. I think we did. Let's preview it. Was that a 3? Looks like a 3. That's a 3. Okay, so let's do that. We got randomness happening up here, though. Wait, what is that? Yeah, okay, so we got a couple points that went awry. And this happens when you outline paths. Sometimes you'll get, like, Illustrator's trying to make the path be as accurate as possible. I think I hear the dog. One sec. So you might have to go back in and sometimes clean up that path, and then we'll get rid of this overlap here. So one sec. I'll make sure everything's okay. All right, we're all good. Okay, so we got that fixed. Let's select these. I already forgot. Did we? No. Okay, so let's do that. And then now we have this shape. And we should be able to get rid of the overlap here if I can just see which one's which. So we need that one. There we go. We got our next little bin thing. So I'm going to unite these. This thing might look good in red and gold too, instead of as a fourth color. Cable management. What's up, Matt? Boy. Yeah, remind me never to show you underneath my desk. You want to see a very poor example of, or rather a good example of what not to do with cables? I got that down pat. So Matt, we're vectoring until our eyes bleed today. And I have to clean this up. Okay, so I think here we're gonna use the width tool. Well, first we got a real like just janky curve up here. Let's try to fix this a little bit. That's a little better. Now it just looks like a kind of mashed in earbud rather than a really mashed in earbud. And I know there's those newfangled Bluetooth ones, but we want the cables, man. All right, so let's bump this up to 2, and then let's play with the whip tool. Let's go back to the whip tool, and we want to set like a start anchor point here. So I'm gonna click twice and just hit OK and keep that one, and I'm coming to the end. And this one, let's do 0.5. I don't want to go to 0. I want it to round out maybe. I don't know, because these are sharp. So yeah, maybe we just, this end point, we'll just zero it out and make it a sharp end right there. Okay, so let's make some little ellipses. I don't even know if these might be too small to print, but details, man, just in case. Let's kind of copy these guys. Control C, Control F to paste in front. I can barely grab it because it's not very, it's ultra tiny. There. How many little holes are in an earbud anyways? I've never looked. I assume there's, when you zoom way in, it looks like a telephone. Where's my space posters, Matt? Uh-oh, Matt. Tell us about these space posters, Matt. I want a space poster. That's a terrible curve I've got here, but I'm having a hard time trying to make it better. All right. So for here, let's try to do we'll make this a shape, and then we'll do outline offset pass. So 2. Let's do 2. Okay, so object path, outline stroke. Let's go ahead and object path, offset path. We want 2. Let's see how that puppy looks. I somehow messed up the whip tool here. What happened to you? You should be 2. And you should be 0. All right. And I lost the anchor. Where'd the anchor go? That was weird. So let's redo this cable. That we don't want the cable to be like fatter than the earbud. Let's really overlap it here so we can shape tool it or shape builder it better. We'll keep it. I think we had 2 before. It's gonna be tight. Let's just do 1. Object path, outline stroke, and then object path, offset path, 2 again. That might be too. It might get by. Object path, outline stroke. Let's unite this, select these, and shape builder. Okay, we got an earpiece going. We come down here, Shift M, shape builder that part. And that's getting there. Okay, the only other thing I had was it was a little bit, this is where I gotta make a decision. So It had a bit of a shadow. Let's unite these. All right, let's grab this. Control C, Control F. I'm gonna do it off the canvas here so I can see what I'm doing. Control C, Control F. Object, arrange, send it back. How do I want to do this? I want to merge these. And then let's get a different color. Okay, object, arrange. Send to back. And let's shape build this. I don't know if this is, if we're going to want to keep this or not, but let's check it out. That's not. Get rid of that. That. That made it a little thicker. You know what? I don't want to merge that yet. I wonder. So actually, eShirts Lab, I got a question for you if you're in or anybody that does screen printing. What do you think is the smallest dot I can get away with? I wonder if that's too small. Let's try some. Object. Where'd you go? Pattern. Pattern. Am I not seeing it? Pattern. Make. Okay. We'll do done for now. All right, so now let's try this. Let's give it a dot pattern. I wish there was a way. I wonder if there's a way to do this. Matt, do you know of a way where can you have a pattern? Say you have well, say you have this dot pattern and you don't want the pattern to get cut off. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Here, let me edit this just a hair. Width 1.5. I need to bring these in closer. Oh, there was a this piece. Can I not bring this in any tighter? Okay, done. Okay, so like I'd like to get rid of these half ones. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Let's not do grid, let's do brick by row. Done. But maybe, I don't know, if I can find a pattern that works, maybe we do something like that. So the shadows have the little dot pattern. But I feel like it's too spaced out. I can't see this very well. Brick by row. Why can't I make this any smaller? something like that. I guess I'd have to expand it. That's something I need to look into. I wonder how that's done. Often in halftones, and dude, there's some small dots that create the shading, but I'm pushing through a high mesh. I guess there's really probably isn't a good way to answer that, huh? Ah. So I think it's about time I go jump up and down on this router. It has been giving me nothing but problems lately. I should be back. Hopefully you guys can see. Such a bummer. I hate when electronics don't want to cooperate. Yes, I do, Scott. I'm not going to say who the company is, but their tech support is it's very lacking. I mean, they're not a very big router company, but like they only do tech support on a forum, and they don't answer in any timely manner. It's getting really old. So I might have to just ditch it altogether. Alright, so width tool again, we're going to do the same thing to get this nice little bend. We want the total width to be 0. And I want to even these out a little bit. Alright, where did you... Where'd that width point go? I think it bumped it up. Two, yep. Two. Man, where is that point? Or actually, I can just delete this. Delete. Delete. Where is the other? That one I need. No, where is it? Isn't there a way to see all of the width points? I feel like there's one more here, but I can't get it. No. Oh well. We'll leave that for now. Let's move you back in. Draw that. Okay, so we got to remember our recipe down here. I think we just used a 1. Object path, outline stroke, object path, offset path. We had 2. Shape builder, Shift M. Oh wait, we need this overlap so we can get so it doesn't start to curve. Path, outline stroke, object path, offset path 2. Shift M to shape build. Shift M, get rid of that top piece. Ah, that's what's doing it. Watch that. It changes the width for some reason. Get rid of that top piece. Get rid of those. Let's merge you. All right, so, and then Control C, Control F. This was that. This is where eyeballs start to hurt. I gotta find these little... Let's see, is that all of them? See, it's cool having a pattern just be a fill, because it acts like a full shape. So you can just easily... You can pretty easily just break up parts you don't need. That. And actually... Don't need that there. Let's step back. Let's grab all these. Get rid of that one and that one. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now, there we go. All right, let's hide our pencil so we can see. It's looking pretty cool. It's getting there. Hopefully the stream doesn't take a dive again. Dumb old router. Okay. Missed some detail here. Now that we have this pattern that we're working with, though, we can use it, start using it in other places. But for this line, I just need to use a profile. That, and then we had one here. Bump that up and use a stroke profile. Use that one. So stroke profiles are also very cool. How are we gonna do these words? Yeah, like now I'm looking at it, it might be nice if like this one, this band here was gold, right? Gold with like maybe white lettering or something. Might look cool. All right, let's get these cables in. This was a 2. That. Oh, I gotta check Twitter. Have you guys been sending stuff? Okay, well, I just worked myself into a hole here with this overlap. So object, path, outline, stroke. And let's shift M and see how goofy that overlap. No, it still works. It's all right. It's all right. We're good. I'm gonna round this corner out. There must be 2 corners there. Oh no. Okay, that's the. That might actually help us. Shift M, get rid of that piece. And then we will round this corner. Just want that one. All right. Oh, this is gonna be intense. All right, let's check Twitter. Oh, thanks for the retweet, James. Stay for the stories about people electrocuting themselves. Too funny. What did I miss ages ago, Scott? What did I miss? Besides my stream blowing up. The ZX Spectrum keyboard. You guys might be a bit younger to remember them. ZX Spectrum. Who made it? I probably saw one. Pants is a good word. Yes, Mr. Fandom. Oh, I see where you guys are coming from. Yes, I have a mechanical keyboard. It is very loud. Oh, Crypto, I want to check it out, man. Yeah, show me what you're working on, dude. All right, so this iPhone thing. How do we want to? Okay. All right, I went to press Control Z and I pressed Control S, which is not a bad thing. That's okay. Okay, I'm seeing icons and stuff on my desktop blink, and those are signs that I want to say it's all router related. This part's going to be tricky. All right, I need to come back and fix this. Or we could make the iPhone look like it's slightly melting. I don't know, maybe just because. Okay, so we got a screen. So let's go to Object, Path, Offset Path, and I want to do, oh no, that's not an offset path. Object, Path, Offset Path, not outline stroke, 3. Shift M, get rid of the middle piece here. Remember to tilt your head. It works. Sometimes, not all the time. Come on. Smart guides. Be smart. All right. And this, I'm going to fill it in. That. And this will be like a little highlight. We'll give this a profile. Object path. Outline stroke. And then let's shape build these ones. All right. And I think I had another one down here somewhere. Where was it? I had two. Do I want one on the corner here? Let's see. Is James in here? Mr. James Flamestar? Object path. Outline stroke. Shift M. Let's shape build it. That, and then I can go in and I feel like this one should be rounded, but it might be the angles too. Yep. Like that. There we go. Oh, what'd you do, Scott? Did you post a link? Nightbot freaked out. I'm using Adobe Illustrator. Let's see. All right. What were you trying to post, Scott? Sorry for the clickety clack. All right, did that work? Then we need, okay, here's kind of a quick way to do this. If we draw a line here, we want kind of a pill shape. And a kind of a real quick way to do this. Just draw a line, right? Let's give it a round cap. Bump the stroke up. All right, now that we have the shape here, let's make sure we got it's in order. All right, so now object, path, outline stroke, and then we'll change this into a stroke, and then we have our little earpiece shape. Easy peasy. Uh-oh. You're sending me to a Google search. Is that going to be all sorts of bad? What am I looking at? Oh, the keyboard! No, Google, don't ask me things. I just want to... No, I don't care about your... Why are you asking me this stuff? Oh, look at that! That's pretty cool. Which one is ZX? This one. Also wasn't very big. So this is kind of like the Commodore or the Atari. The first ones were where your TV was the monitor. This isn't. Wow! Look at that. I vaguely remember these. Man, I was pretty little. Yep, we used to play Joust on the Atari one. Man, these things weren't very big. Spacebar was over here. That's so weird. The site's just called oldcomputers.com. Yeah, I forget what the number. What was the model number of the Atari like that? Was it a it wasn't 7800. Maybe it didn't have a number. I think I'm remembering it wrong. That it wasn't a number. That looks weird. Oh, what was it? Was it 2600? Was it 2600? I thought 2600 was a console. But no, yeah, you're right. It wasn't. Man, that button does not look right. I think I got my perspective backwards. Or my eyes are messed up. Well, technically, edit, object. Yeah, effect, distort, free distort. Let's do this over again. Let's do a circle. Okay, circle, effect, distort, free distort. Okay. Now we'll kind of twist him. Wait, did that work? object, expand. There, now it's a little more at an angle. All right, so we have the vlog text, but I think I need another. This will bump up because this is going to kind of mimic. There's a little that'll. So since we're looking at it like this way, you know, there'd be like a slight ledge there. You know, well, not really, but you know what I mean. Like on a phone, you have, you know, looking at it at that angle, you really wouldn't see the top seam all that much, but you'd see more of the bottom seam. At least that's what we're trying to accomplish. All right, so this whole piece, I want to object path, outline stroke, and I want this to be its own piece. I want to make sure I don't, because I want to take this and use it somewhere else down the road. So I need to make sure I don't merge it with other stuff. Okay, so vlog. So I'm thinking gold. See how this starts to look. They make gold iPhones, right? Gold. Actually, this would be a good spot. So let's select these points in here. We're gonna get really tricky. All right, so we want these interior points. Control C, Control F, Control X, Control F. Boom. I like that. Oh, and someone showed me a trick. I don't like how this is lining up. You select it, and I hold tilde. Yeah, tilde, and you can move the pattern around. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Okay, so we got our phone. Need to learn to stop and think before I go. About to make Syndicate's fan art ideas a thing, as this current one is weird. Billy, weirder the better. A Neo Geo, Scott. I remember those ones so bad that they're like $9 million growing up. They were so expensive. For here, I remember you had to like drive way out of town just to find one. Like only, like nobody carried those because they were just super expensive. Neo Geo actually had a pretty cool logo too. It was very playful. Yeah, go in arcade, play Metal Slug. So I guess this week I get to order a new router. I've been looking at Asus ones. I wonder if those are decent. These are a little weird, but I'm going to keep them for now. And that one we're just going to... Actually, for here, I'm just going to make a new point and get rid of this bottom point. There we go. I feel like I'm drawing a zombie version of a scene from, I believe, Saw. That's weird. But it's okay. Okay, down here. I already forgot the process I used for the other one. Swatches, let's grab our gold. This, I think we had... Oh, let's just grab this whole thing. Object, unlock. I'm trying to match what we did down here. Is that about a 2? No, it's thicker. Lock this. I think we're at the bump this up to 4 because that's what I did. I offset path. Okay, let's do that. Object, unlock, object, path, offset path 2. That should get us the same width as that. Control C, Control F. I think it came down about that far. Do that. These shadows are going to be going like every which way. Whoa, zoomed way in. So makeshift 3D, right? Unite, object, arrange, send to back. Control C, Control F, gold. I'm doing magic on other layers. Grab you and we'll drag you right back up here. There we go. I can lock that gold layer in. All right, so this original text, it's gonna be tricky. Probably a way to do this is like this. Where am I looking? Color, switch that. 4. Turn your head so I can see. Now I think I can use Shape Builder on this part. I need this to be the same width. Yeah. All right. I don't remember if this works or not. Let's try it. So if I select these, Shift M, get rid of that. No. Oh, I'm not selecting that one. That's why. Down here. All right, Shift M. Now the question is, does this work? This is going to be magical if this works. All right, here, here, here. Okay. Plus, I can. Okay, so now. Building type. J. Shift M. Yeah. I don't want to get rid of that though. I need this one. Here. Here. Alright, that one worked. And then there. Alright, so now I can select. Sorry, my eyes are starting to go like, what are you doing? So I'm averaging and I'm joining these, and we're slowly building these letters. Now I can go like in live corner. Let's do 1.5. It looks a little weird, but it's working. Oh yeah, someone want to see zoom out? All right, so this is what we're trying to ink, and 2 hours in, and we've gotten this far. So it's gonna be a, I wonder. Let's try something real quick. We could. I don't know how well it'll work, but it might look better than what we got. Let's see if my poor brain can remember how to do this. See if I can remember how to do some magic here. Okay, if this all goes awry, I didn't do it. So my favorite fonts, though it is a little fat for this. I don't know. Object, arrange, bring to front. Object, envelope, distort, make with top object. No. I know there's a way to do this. What if we just use this as a guideline? Object, arrange, bring to front. Well, I feel like we tried to do this before. I don't remember if we did this in here or if we did this in Photoshop, but we had text warp or text wrap. I thought it was warp. We could go to, let's try playing with these filters first. So we do have a we have an arc lower happening, the negative bend. I think we can kind of fudge this. I'm gonna knock this way back so I don't have to really and then lock it. Yeah. Matt, how do I envelope distort this without it blowing up? Arc. Where is I can't remember where mesh. Well, I can't remember where you can manipulate it as a mesh. Oh, we should go raid Josh. Swami, Craig's got a good idea there. CJ, we should go raid Josh. Send Josh some love. Squishy B. Okay, why am I not seeing this, Matt? 1 by 1 mesh warp, you have less points to worry about. I can't remember where it is though, Binos. Or I have to create the mesh, right? Except I don't remember how this works. I thought it just brought up my head hurts. I thought it just brought up a grid. Yeah, is it under? It's not under envelope distort though, or make with mesh. I don't remember how to do this. Object, unlock all. I know I'm doing this all wrong. I can't think of how to. Preview. Object. Make with mesh. So here, one by one. This, I don't want the mesh anymore. I just want to see it. Alright, let me step backwards and do that all over again. Alright, so object, envelope. I feel like I'm getting close. Can I curve it? There we go. Alright. See how close we can get before the text just disintegrates on us. Oh, this bottom curve's gonna kill me. I feel like we were trying to do this in another stream, and this is something I was trying to remember this. It wasn't happening. All right, Binos and Matt. Everybody give them a round of applause. Thank you for reminding us how to do this. Break the text into a compound path. Prior to these streamers, we haven't rated 4 fewer followers. Microphone stream cam going to be on a little while. PG. Ah, okay. I guess I could expand this, right? I got my library open. Object. Couldn't I expand this? And then I could manually, like, I don't know why I keep zooming in all the way. Manually, like, straighten some of these out. That's a little better. And it does look better than what I was doing before, which was just trying to draw the thing. It wasn't working all that well. So if we grab you. Kind of move it back into place. Awesome. Now I'm wondering what this would look like. Control X. Just paste it back here. Control F. I want to see how this will look real quick. This color, swatches, go back to our gold. Arrange, send to back, and this becomes white text. I'm thinking something like that. And the earbuds will be, let's fill them in. First, let's fix this. I wonder if coloring with the tablet and the blob brush would actually be a little bit quicker here. Because my mouse clicking finger is awfully tired. Do to do. Go that way. Oh. Let's zoom out. I can get rid of this stuff now. Object. Unlock all. Well, that's looking pretty sharp, I think. I think we need to break up the text though. We need to do kind of the same effect. Man, this is okay, so this is extremely time consuming, but it's like as we get closer and closer and closer, I'm getting more and more excited because it's I think it's actually gonna pay off. It looks, in my opinion, it's looking pretty cool. But it is like, it is a good chunk of time. But I think this is going to be one of those pieces that I'm extra proud of when it's done. You know what I mean? That, you know, it happens here and there, but there's usually one of those things that you just, you know, they're near and dear to your heart. All right, so let's get rid of, pull these little notches out. The good old trusty shape builder, man. And thank you guys for sticking this out. Those of you that have been around the whole stream, I know this is like very, what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Tedious. But hopefully, you know, hopefully I'm helping you guys learn stuff. I learn stuff every time I get Matt in here and some of the other Illustrator gurus and screen printer gurus. I always end up learning something new, which is really cool. There we go. That broke that up a little bit. Save. Your best friend. My video feed is freezing up. Have a good night. Ah, oh, all right. Hopefully it's not me. Steed Top Hat. Delete line. Delete line, then join. Let me check Twitter real quick. See if I'm missing anything. It's probably showing us Youngblood's old keyboards to unintentionally make us feel grateful about our keyboards. So I was reading this tweet, Mr. VR. Myself is proudly showing us Youngblood's old keyboards to unintentionally make us feel grateful about our keyboards nowadays. The old clicker-clack keyboards. Ah, thanks, Floris. Fandom. Scott's not the only one. there's a few of us in here that are, yeah. All right, so let's get some of these circles in here since they're like easy mode. I'm wondering if we make the checkerboard white and blue. If we do make this white and blue and gold, that might be pretty cool. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Object path, offset path 2, okay, and then fill that. We've got our bubble dots are starting to happen here. You know, I'm thinking embrace your keyboard. Was it E-shirts? Were you telling me I should do the checkerboard then just warp it? Because I think you're right. I wonder what would be the easiest way to do that. I'm trying to think if there's like Because if we draw out, all right, let's do a quick test. Let's see if this will work. And what is the blue I use? What was the, hold tight. Let me open up an older, I'm going to try to get a swatch from an older shirt. What's up, Iron? Well, we can mesh warp it. The only thing I'm worried about is that the edges of the corners might like come apart from each other. I'm sure there's got to be a way around it. What did I call that stupid shirt? Or that design. It's not stupid. I put it under emblem here. I want to grab, I want to see what this is close to in a color book. So swatches. Let's just do the old school method. Here we go. I'm gonna put the old color book to use. HSB. Blues are always, well, they've been notoriously hard to match sometimes. So if I get out my color book, and I'm just gonna match to what I'm seeing on the screen. What do I got here? What I got? Pantone 2184. It's a little green. Step back. Pantone will be close to this. 2172. I'm using this thing. I'm holding it up to the screen to see what might be a good. What did I say? 2172? Where'd you go? 2172. It's a little lavender. Let's try 2172. Okay, so Control C, Control F. Swatches. Oh, it's right here. 2172. Where'd it go? Punching the wrong number. Which one was it? Was it? I think I just went dyslexic all of a sudden. Was it 27? 2727? That's pretty close. So that's the PMS color, and that's the swatch we pulled. That's not bad. All right, so let's go with that one. That one's 27. Where did I get 2172? 21, is that a color? 21. I mean, it didn't pick it up, so I must have just, my eyeballs are dying, people. Oh, no. Yeah, 27, or 20, no, 21, no, 2172 is a color. Why isn't it coming up? These are coded, solid. 2172. Is it outdated? Color books. Open Swatch Library, color books. Pantone, maybe it's solid uncoded. 2172. No. Why is there no 2172? Yeah, 2172C, coded. It should be coming up. It's right there. It's right there. I'm not crazy. It's right there. I haven't. Which one's older? You have an older palette on your book. We'll find the Pantone color view in the color picker. Choose color libraries button. Color picker. Where? If we go. Well, let's go back. Let's step back. Color picker. It's eyedropper. What am I looking for? Color swatches. I want it. Let me do that again. Let's see. Why isn't it not picking out color swatches? Yeah, isn't it supposed to in-web color, gamut color? I thought it would like, doesn't it select on the sample checkered flag on Twitter? Oh, on Photoshop. All right, let's go back to Photoshop and see what comes up close. Except we did, I think we changed it, didn't we? I think we changed it slightly. So the hex value now, RGB is this one. Color libraries. 279. That looks too light, doesn't it? Let's look. I mean, it's probably right, but wow, no, that didn't change. Well, it is. It's a hair lighter. No, you're right. It is. That is closer. All right. Where's 279 in the book? 278, 279. There you are. Man, that does match the screen, but now I'm looking at the color book and I'm thinking, I think I like 2172 better. You know what I need to do is I need to go dig up one of the shirts and hold the color book up to that. All right, well, good call on the Photoshop thing. I totally forgot about that. All right, let's go with 27. I kind of like 2727. So before I forget, I'm gonna delete that swatch so I don't get all mixed up. So now, all right, so let's tackle this flag thing. So if we go like this, let's see if this will even work. I don't know if this will work or not. Can we go? Let's see if this is going to break up on us. I guess I could make this into a pattern and then expand it. But this might be, just to test real quick, this is probably the quickest. All right, so if I unite these with Pathfinder, and then object, let's see if this works. Let's do the same, make with mesh and do, well, we're not gonna know 3x3. That'll work. So what I was worried about were those corners, but they're sticking together. See that? Oh, I think you just like saved us a lot of time. So that will work. Yeah, all right, so. Oh, this makes me happy. It's like magic. Okay, so Control C, Control F. And this is still, I think this is still quicker. We could do, like I was saying, we could do a pattern, but, and then we're just gonna get a bunch of these squares, and then we'll just shape build out what we don't want. Is that enough coverage? Yeah, it looks like enough coverage. All right, so let's Let's do this. Let's unite with Pathfinder. Let's bring this over. Yeah, make sure I'm on the right layer. Could drink water. Envelope, distort. How are we looking on time? Make with mesh. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and let's just do 4x4. Or wait. Let's not rotate it first. Now let's make with mesh. Object, envelope, make with mesh. So we want, now I can see the rows. So we want, let's do 3 rows and 5 columns. Now we can rotate it and see if we can make Illustrator magic here. All right. So use the direct select. Ugh, I need to select it first. All right, now. I wonder if it's too many. Too many rows and columns? Actually, this one kind of went this way. Be like that. Okay, so now object, we can expand this. Okay. And we'll just use Pathfinder, we'll use trim. I gotta remember to put a cable over here. Okay, that's all janky. So unite, trim, and I'm sure we have some empty spaces here. Where'd they go? Okay. And then object, arrange, send it back. And let's see how it looked. Cool, it worked. It's so exciting that it worked. Want to buy my new Pantone book, Evan? Only $700. What's up, Guardians? So we're slowly getting through this. Dead octopi. I like how Bino's capped it. Like, no, come on. Photoshop. You're in the wrong place. Let's see. I want to fudge this one though because I want it to. There we go. And then we don't need that little stray piece. Very cool. It worked. Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you guys for all the help. All right. Color, switch this. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Wrong layer, people. All right, so. I think I'm gonna have to go back and probably redraw these cables at some point because I need to draw the S behind it. I probably should have. I was dumb and I didn't keep that file. Remember at the very beginning when I showed you the printout of the S? I should have kept that. But no, I deleted it. So that thing is gonzo, and I need to, I could use it back right now. So I'm gonna have to kind of just like figure that one out later. So I'm not super like concerned about how these wires are looking at the moment. Or cables, or whatever they're called. Speaking of cables, I wonder how that's going to work out in Deadpool. Welcome to Planet Evan, where his mind is always not where it should be. Alright, so vlog. And we could do the same thing. Ooh, I got a font for that. I do. I already wrote it out. That one? Can I use that one? Carlsbad. I'm thinking of let's use flip tricks, but let's use the lowercase version. Outline that. Object, envelope, distort, make with mesh. See, man, now that you guys filled me in on this, I'm gonna be using it everywhere. Vlog. I wonder who came up with that word. Like, I wonder who the originator of vlog is. Who? Keep missing the. Oh, it's getting there. Vlog. All right. Now I want to size the whole thing down just a hair. How's that looking? We're getting closer. Zoom out. Man. I'm just thinking, this took us what? This is, oh man. Oh, eShirt. See, eShirts knows how to do it. Sample checkered flag. Yep, that's exactly what we were going for. Man, I'm so appreciative of you guys that you hang out in the stream and give me these pointers. He looks like his helmet probably didn't work. Every time you twist your head, it reminds me of when I am. Me and my dog do it at each other. We're trying to figure each other out. Oh, yep. Is Illustrator hard to learn? I have trouble understanding how layers work in Illustrator. They seem really different from Photoshop. They're actually not. I mean, my brain won't turn on. You know, the layers from one to another. I mean, they do act a little bit differently as far as like the extras they have. But it's the same thing. I mean, a layer is a layer. You still want to. I mean, you'll still find times where you need to use layers in Illustrator. Now, you use layers. You'll find you use it less in Illustrator than you do Photoshop. Just laughing at Scott. So you'll probably we're using multiple layers now, but it's really we're only using 3, right? We have our ink layer, and honestly, I could do the ink and the color all together in Illustrator because we're not really worried about anything running together. It's just more for my poor brain to be able to keep things organized in a way that I can jump back and modify one piece without having to change everything else. So it's really it's not hard to learn. It's just different. It acts a little bit different than Photoshop, but once you start using it, you start to see how they work hand in hand, especially if you're doing, like I said this on the last stream, especially if you're doing web design. Somehow I got a big old nick in my mouse. Because web design, you're usually making like icons and whatnot that you're going to save out as SVG graphics. And so you end up just going back in Illustrator and making those there anyways. So it's very much worth the time to learn it. I put it off for a lot of years because at first it did act, it was very like I didn't quite understand how it was all working. And then when I started using it for like logos and whatnot, it was like it all clicked. Like, oh, okay. Now I see how this works. So you'll use, when you start picking up Illustrator, send it back. Object, arrange, send it back. All right. You'll end up using like the pen tool, I would say 90% of the time for the most part. Pen tool, and then Pathfinder and Shape Builder. Probably, if you want to hit up 2 things first, play around with the pen tool in Illustrator because it does act a little bit differently than Photoshop, but not much. And then Pathfinder and Shape Builder. Those are the ways that you start, like how we took all the notches out of these letters. That was drawing paths with the pen tool and then using Shape Builder to knock them out. And so when you start to see how it's like, in Photoshop, you just go in and you make a selection and erase it, right? So Illustrator is a little bit different in that sense that if you think about, like, this helped me like get my mind over it when I first started getting into it. Is like when you want to erase something, one way to do it was you draw the shape of what you want to erase and then you basically knock it out of your overall shape. That's one of many methods, but it acts a little bit differently than Photoshop. Though I think we do have an eraser tool, path eraser tool. Like, how does this work? It helps if I'm on another layer. So if I go like that, do I have to select it first? I've never actually used an eraser tool on your path. Oh, eraser tool. Wait, where did I just? So this works kind of. I guess you could do like that. It works like the blob brush. And you could do it that way. But like people in the chat are saying, for like eShirts Lab, it is much more precise, right? So you can do the method we had before where you make shapes to break apart other shapes and think about it that way. Okay. So we have 15 minutes. We got super far in 15 minutes. Actually, I kind of knew this is what we were in store for. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to make these little plugs gold. You know, this is going to be a crazy piece once it's all done. I don't know when I'm going to have it done by, but I will post it up when it is done. And we'll see where it lands. Hopefully it will get printed on something. That would be pretty cool. I wonder. So, I wonder if I should go... If I should do a little more with the dot pattern too, and just add some shadows in here. Like we could go like this. To kind of fill this in a little bit. It's just, I don't know, I get such a kick over the pattern fills that you can just draw them out and it's just like, here you go. We'll do this spot too. Then I can even draw. The other big thing is that we're keeping this down to just 4 colors. Object arrange, send it back. There, kind of like that. That gives a nice little accent of color. There we go. I can't wait to get to this shark. Now that we're using blue, I actually can make this blue. Though I don't know, I might keep the water. I don't know if I'll make the water blue. I might just keep it like black ink. Might look better, actually. We will see how it goes. Zipatone days. 2 more streams and you will be closed. Well, I don't know. This is one of those things where I'll probably just not sleep over the weekend and finish it just to have it done. So the 1337 type is pretty bendy. I wonder if we can use the warp tool there too. Thinking. Let's put this on the right layer though. What is that, a 7? And I could go ahead and bevel this. Though, I'll probably just clip it manually. So let's go back to... Woo! Okay. I'm awake. Oh, that was... No, I don't like that curve. Thank you. Nah, I want to keep it solid. Oh, outline stroke. Oh, I messed it up. I didn't undo that part. Wait. Object, edit, redo, Shift Control Z, Control X. Now, okay, this should all be the same width. Okay. Object, path, outline stroke. Oh well, we're gonna leave it for now. I'm wondering if I should just draw this separately. I don't think I'm going to keep this, but let's just see. I'm just going quick to see what this looks like. I need to do these two. We'll just fix one of the threes and then just delete it again. Delete the other one. Back. Forgot the top here. Oh, come on, let me select you. Seven isn't looking right. range, send it back. Object arrange, bring to front. All right. 7 looks stupid. I need to redo it. Oh, well. All right. We have a ton more we can be doing. Yeah, I need to redo that 7. I need to redo the whole number. Because it should be, like... The kerning's all dumb. Though it is kind of a cool shape. But that 7 needs to be... Maybe this just needs to be straight. This serif coming off of it. Or is it? It is wider than the 3. Alright, so we will keep this up here for reference. And I will have to redo that part. So we got 3 minutes left. I usually end up looking down at the clock way too late. So while I'm thinking about it... What's up, Hystrix? Swami, I just saw the whisper. That is too cool. He will be extremely appreciative of that. Thank you. So I want to just thank you guys for sitting through this. Let me zoom out so you guys can see where we ended up, because we got a lot done, to be honest. Now, but you can see how involved these type of pieces get. I'm super anxious I want to see this completed though, because you know, it's one of those pieces where I just, you know, I want to see it done. I want to see how it turns out, and hope it's cool. So, yep, we're gonna wrap it up. We got 2 minutes left. So again, thank you all very much for tuning in. This was such a fun stream. I don't know what we're gonna do next stream. I don't know if you guys want to sit through more of this. But I'm gonna try to have it wrapped before next stream, because like I said, I'm anxious to see how it turns out. Oh, thank you, Anya. Anya, you've been here. So next Tuesday I'll be back. You guys help me think about what we should be working on next week. It's kind of all up in the air. You guys know my Twitter. Please message me there so I can see it and we can figure out what to do next week. If not, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we're gonna get. It'll be exciting. So yes, we were gonna raid a good buddy of mine and of ours. We're gonna go raid Josh here in a minute. Thank you, Swami, for modding. And the raid is the Adobe stream goes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and so the last slot, which is guys like me on for like Tuesday here, this is the last slot. So what we want to do is we want to send all of everybody here. We're going to go raid another channel, and we're going to raid someone who is near and dear to my heart, Mr. Squishy B, Mr. Josh himself. We're going to head on over there. So yeah, we got a minute left, and I'm going to go ahead and paste his link in the description. Oh yeah, and there we go. Right in, copy the code that Swami just pasted, the incoming code, and we're gonna head on over to good old Josh and just make his day. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will catch you next week. All right? Does that sound good? All right.